Today, I'm going to share with you how to overcome a plateau to achieve a top LSAT score. For those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Now, getting that score increase took me over an entire year, and at least half of it was a complete waste of time. For far too long, my scores were stuck. I was at plateaus in the 150s, then at plateaus in the 160s, but I found a number of different strategies to help me break through each plateau that I hit. First and foremost, you have to recognize that you have the potential to improve, that hitting a plateau is a normal part of the learning process. LSAT score improvements are not gradual, they are not linear, they come in fits and bursts at unpredictable points, and you've got to recognize that every challenge is an opportunity to learn something new, to deepen your understanding, that every question that you get wrong is an opportunity to learn something new. So you've got to maintain persistence, maintain a positive attitude towards your ability to improve at every single stage of the process, because the improvements won't happen unless you believe they can happen. So positive mindset, growth mindset, first and foremost. Secondly, you've got to review your mistakes in depth. I personally found that my biggest insights and breakthroughs came when I did fewer questions and reviewed them in more depth, rather than only scratching the surface and Googling for someone else's perfect explanation written with the hindsight of already knowing the correct answer. And so you've got to conduct an in-depth analysis of all your mistakes. Every question that you get wrong, every question that you have difficulty with, even if you get it right, but you guessed and got lucky and it could have gone the other way, you've got to analyze all of these questions and figure out where your misunderstanding stemmed from. Was it in logical reasoning, for example, the stimulus, the question stem, or the answer choices, tempting wrong answers, unappealing right answers? You've got to look at all of those, and that's part of the Socratic review method that we use at LSAT Unplugged through our courses, through our small group coaching programs, and our one-on-one coaching programs. If you're interested in finding out more, you can feel free to check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. Now, when you are engaging in this review process, you've got to keep a detailed log of your mistakes, not only to track your progress, but also to highlight the key insights that you gain from your reviews so that you will not make the same mistake again, and rather those lessons will sink in. Now, if you've hit a plateau, if you've been studying for a while, it may be time to change up your approach and try something new, which brings me to strategy number 3 here, to diversify your study methods and diversify your study materials. And so if you've not been engaging in an in-depth review process like the Socratic review method, it may be the time to adopt a new approach like this to help you get more, to help you get different insights out of the studying that you're doing. If you're finding that the textbooks or the videos just aren't doing it for you and you need something a bit more interactive, you may want to try out a new learning technique like a classroom setting, whether it's through Zoom or a one-on-one coaching program where you can meet with someone and get feedback on how you're thinking about things, maybe finding a study buddy or a study group where you can teach the concepts to others. At LSAT Unplugged, we host study groups like that and in a structured setting with a TA facilitating to keep things on track. And you want to refresh your study routine on a regular basis just to keep your engagement high, keep you fresh, keep you interacting with the process, and you're not letting days go by without cracking a book or doing an LSAT question. Strategy number 4 is about achieving balance in your prep, not just between drilling questions and doing full practice tests, but also balancing your weak areas versus your strengths. So you don't only want to drill your weak areas because that can be discouraging at time. You also don't want to neglect your strengths because you don't want to get rusty in those areas. And so a bit of both is best. Some drilling of weak areas and some maintenance of your strong areas so that you don't get rusty and you're not neglecting any type of question at any point in the process. Maybe taking a practice test a week once you're already doing quite well, once you're close to your goal, so that you're not just working on accuracy, but you're also bringing in pacing and endurance as well. Which brings me to strategy number 5, simulate test day conditions regularly. Maybe you want to take a practice test a week to build your endurance and maintain some familiarity with what test day itself will actually look like. This will also help you reduce anxiety on actual test day because you've been through it before. I recommend doing at least 10 full-length practice tests before the big day so that test day itself will feel like just another run through. Relatedly, strategy number 6, work on time management, work on your pacing, how you're allocating your time over the course of the section between reading the stimulus and solving the question itself, between reading the reading count passage and solving the associated questions, and between doing the easier questions relative to the harder questions later in the section. One benchmark my students have often found helpful is doing the first 10 logical reasoning questions in roughly 10-12 minutes, building up a time bank that you can then apply to the tougher questions later in the section. Then maybe you're flagging 3 or 4 of those difficult questions, you're skipping them, you're coming back to them later. That's just one approach, of course. You'll find your own rhythm, but you only find it if you're doing timed sections regularly, doing timed work regularly, and of course, not just in the context of individual sections, but also doing those full-length practice tests on a regular basis. Now, if you're taking timed sections regularly, doing full-length exams regularly, reviewing in depth regularly, using a strategy like the Socratic review method, and you're still hitting a plateau, it may be time to get some more feedback on how you're approaching the questions, how you're approaching your LSAT prep overall. Maybe we need to make some adjustments to your study plan. And so at LSAT Unplugged, one thing we'll do for you is we'll craft an entirely personalized day-by-day plan for you, laying out exactly what to do from now through your test date, whenever you're taking the LSAT, literally down to the day, helping you break up when you're doing individual sections or full-length practice tests or drilling questions by type. And we will talk through the toughest questions with you in a one-on-one context, helping you figure out where you're going wrong, what mistakes you're making, and how you can change your approach going forward. We offer this in one-on-one coaching programs and our small group programs as well. If you're interested in finding out more, you can check out the links below this video to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.